fact, the Gemara, the curse that David had given Yoav, which David had, Shlomo HaMelech had accepted those curses. So amongst them was Neifel B'Acharev, that one of his descendants will be killed by sword. So where do we see that? It says Gemara Yeshio, the king of Yehuda, who was Mizera David Dichsiv, like it says in the pasuk. Vayoyda LaMelech Yeshio, they threw spears into Yeshio. Rabbi Yehuda Marav, she'asul kol gufei kirch vara. They made his whole body like a sieve. So many holes. A sieve has a whole bunch of little holes. That's how many spears went through King Yeshio. A sieve.
S-I-E-V-E.
Belegt Sachen, sie kommt durch a whole bunch of to keep the... Yeah, sieve, yeah.
Now you know. Now you're talking.
What does it say?
The guy that davens in the shul, his name is Ziv.
Okay, Chasal Lechem. What does it mean? Where do we see that there was the punishment of the curse by Zera David that there won't be any food? Yechanya Melech Yehuda Mizera David. Yechanya was the king of Yehuda when he was Zera David. The meals Aruchas Tamid Nitna Loi was constantly was given Meis HaMelech every day all his life, but it was very scarce. For Nebuchadnezzar jailed him, but he got very little food. And Noidach, his son, gave him already a little bit more food, but he had was control. Yeah, gave him more, a little bit. So that's why we see he was punished with no food. And Rabbi Yehuda said, this is what people say. Tehei luta v'loi tehei lota. Better be the cursed one and not to be the one that's cursing. Because the one that's being cursed, right, could always get away with it. He doesn't have to believe in it. Du glaubst nicht, right, in dein Kopf. You don't believe in these superstitions and these curses. It's not. It won't happen. It's only if you believe it. But somebody who curses, right? He believes it. He thinks about it. So that's a problem. So it's better to be the one that's cursed than the one that's cursing. Okay. So they brought Yoav in front of the Sanhedrin. And Shlomo HaMelech was part of the Sanhedrin. He was judging him. Amalei said, "My time to Avner. Why did you kill Avner?" Amalei. So Yoav answers, "Goyl Adam. The Asol Havi. Asol was my brother. I'm a Goyl Adam. Avner killed him." Asol Reidef Hava says, "What are you talking about? He was being Gereidef by your. Asol was being Reidef Avnei, and he cornered him. What do you want from him? And some self-defense. If somebody comes to kill you, you're allowed to kill him. Self-defense. He could have shot him in one of the feet and hold him back from attacking him. He didn't have to kill him. So it says Avnei could have wounded him. So Shlomo says to Yoav, "What are you talking about? He couldn't. He was ambushed. He was cornered." If he was able to give such a sharp shot, that they see, like it says, he killed him with a spear. But where did he throw that spear? Mamish in the fifth rib. The fifth wall, the fifth rib, in the place where the gallbladder and the liver are hanging. He hit it in the right place where he's finished. He knew how to kill him right away. In the first shot, he knew what he was doing. You're going to say he couldn't just hit him in the foot or somewhere else where he was such a sharp shooter? He could have taken care. And it says la halacha that if you could save yourself without killing somebody, then you're the murderer. You were able to get out of it.
So this is a question or statement?
No, that's what he's answering.
Who's answering?
He said, he was you think he couldn't kill? He could have avoided killing him by shooting him some away from preventing him from attacking him. He says, okay, leave it, even though they didn't. Shlomo HaMelech wasn't giving in because he felt that he was unable. He was being ambushed. He was cornered. But Amalei Nezel Avner. He said, forget about Avner. Let me ask you a different question. My time he could tell to Amasa. Why'd you kill Amasa? What was the story with Amasa? Amasa. Oh, he's going to say over here. Amalei Yoav said to Shlomo, Amasa made him a Malchus Haba. He says he was a made him Malchus. How? David said, because Amasa was already now working for David HaMelech. He left with Avner to work for David HaMelech. And now there was a guy called, he was a also a terrible person. He started a war. I forgot his name. Give me a second. Let me see if it says his name over here somewhere. 12. Give me a second. It doesn't say. Here, Sheva ben Bichri. Sheva ben Bichri started a rebellion. Sheva ben Bichri against David. He had a whole crowd with him. So the king, David said to Amasa, listen, this guy's a affordable fighter, and he has a lot of guys with him. So he told Amasa, go and gather for me, I'll mention within 3 days all the people of Yehuda. And Amasa went and he took his time. He didn't gather them in 3 days. So who did he send? David HaMelech couldn't wait, so he sent Yoav. Yoav, take people and go kill him. Just don't let him come close. And Yoav went and he killed him. On the way back, he sees Amasa. And he sees Amasa. He says, whoa, he's doing his shlichus. And he killed him. He says, because you were made of a malchus, you should have done it within 3 days. Yoav killed Amasa. So Shlomo said to Yoav, Amasa achim erakim darash. Amasa had reason, he darshins ach berak. What does that mean? He says, Ashkechinu the psich lov b'mesachta. When he came to gather the Yidden in Yerushalayim, there were people who started new mesachtas and they were learning. And he says, it says in the pasuk, Kol ish asher yama espicha v'lo yishma es dvaracha l'chol asher tetzava tzavanu yumas. Every person that will be murdered by malchus on your mouth and won't listen to your words, to whatever your mitzvah, the king is mitzvah, then he dies. So I would have thought that you have to listen to the king even when it comes to Divrei Torah. Talmud Lema, no. When it comes to Divrei Torah, it says Sha'ama oit le'yeshua rak chazak ve'amatz. Only strengthen yourself and be encouraged. To exclude somebody who's if you're going to have to be mavatal Divrei Torah, then you don't have to listen to the king. So Amasa didn't gather them within 3 days because they were learning Torah, and that's why David HaMelech felt that he did the right thing. He didn't have to listen to him. So he says, I hear you. He got away with that one. I'm sorry. No, he's saying Amasa was right. Well, Shlomo says, so you're wrong. He wasn't made of a malchus. And Shlomo adds even more. And he says, that person, you yourself are made of a malchus. Like it says in the pasuk, the shmua that Shlomo HaMelech was getting rid of Shimon ben Gedi, all those people that started up with David HaMelech in his lifetime. Shimon ben Gedi cursed. He was a big Talmud Chacham, but he cursed David HaMelech. So there's a list of people that were blacklisted by David HaMelech who Shlomo HaMelech had to kill, and he starts hearing Shlomo HaMelech is fulfilling on his mission of killing these people, and he's part of the blacklist. So he right away he heard that and that Yoav supported the Niyah, but he didn't support Avshalom. Adoniah and Avshalom were sons of David HaMelech. Each of these sons wanted to become king in his lifetime. Now, Avshalom was before, so he didn't support him. Adoniah he wanted to become king because he felt he was older than Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech is my pisha bruder. Ich bin älter for him. Shlomo is going to Mazina. He was only
12 years old.
He's I'm older. What do you have? Ich ben Melech. Finish. And you know who supported him? Yoav. So now he was rebellious. He says, "Stop made of malchus." And frankly, when it says he didn't support Avshalom, what does it mean? He didn't support him. What does that mean? He really wanted to support him, but he didn't. My time why didn't he support him? Because David was still strong at the time when Avshalom wanted to become king. David was still powerful. David killed a lion. David's no petchke flesh. You don't start with David. So he didn't want to start then. That wasn't the right time. By Adoniah, he's already older. Sagt die Rabbi Yisrael Rabbi Chanina, Oma Adain Etztagniya Shel David Kayam. Rabbi Yisrael Rabbi Chanina says a different reason, because they buried him from David HaMelech, who supported David HaMelech for any snip and tit. They were strong in him. They would kill him right away. So they didn't want to start. David Rabbi Yudam Arav. Abba Meis Yiladim Hoyu Leila David Kulam B'nei Yefas Toya Hoyu. There were 400 Bachnim that David had in his army, and they were all children of Yefas Toya. Yefas Toya is from a Goya that was captured, and the people want them, so they have to cut their hair. They have to start looking. So they had children.
How
Yeah.
many
So,
Yipas did he have?
it's not him. It doesn't say. It was in Bonim Shanoldim and Noshrim Sheshavu Tzva David B'Milchama, and he accumulated. No, he accumulated.
No, so why is he afraid of them? Why?
Oh, they were Gibberim. It says Magat Lebeluri Yesayu, and they had special, haircuts that they shaved all around, and they had a long ponytail on the back. They looked like real wild people. It says they shayidu balei ema b'yifachlu b'hem. Rashi says they're always cooking be fearless people, and people should fear them. They would go to the beginning, to the head of the army. They were the strong men of David. So it wasn't a time for Yoav to start. This is the time. And the Maimah of Rabbi Abba Bar Kahana, they argued that David fought with through 400 Yafas tired children. He says if David wouldn't have learned, then Yoav wouldn't be successful in his war. And if Yoav wouldn't fight his wars, then David HaMelech wouldn't be able to learn Torah. David HaMelech was a judge, and he judged, and he helped out people. It says, David was judging, and he was doing righteousness for the people. Yeah. And Yoav ben Tzuya was he fought the wars for him. Why was he able to judge and be good to the people? Because he had somebody to fight the wars for him. Why was Yoav al Atzava? Why was he successful? Mishum the David because David was learning Torah, he was judging the people, he was doing stakis. That's why Yoav was successful. So that's how the pshat he learns that it's referring to David HaMelech and not to the Malach. Oh, so it says Gemara, Yoav went out from David. Yoav came out of David, and he sent messengers after Avner, and he told him, and he brought him to the place Beir Hasira. My Beir Hasira, in fact, it was Beir Hasira. Amar Kahan, Amar Rabbi Abba, Bar Kahana. Beir Hasira, Garma Leila Avner Shaharik. The Beir and the Sira caused Avner to be killed. Why was Avner killed? Avner, we have to understand, what did he do? So here he brings down the Rashi.
Well, Avner killed Amasa.
No, Yoav killed Avner and Amasa.
Yoav killed.
Why did Avner deserve a death? So he explains. No, so it's because of Beir and Sira. What does it mean, Beir and Sira? So it says that David HaMelech. So it says over here that David HaMelech, when Shaul HaMelech fell asleep, he took away from him the jug of water, and he took also his spear. And so, and David HaMelech, hinted through a shliach, I have his jug of water with his spear. You guys didn't take care of it. I could have killed him. So I didn't mean to harm it. If I wanted. Wait, that's a second incident. Says Gemara. So that one. So he was able to kill him. So what did he say? Instead of saying that David is righteous, no, he said, nah, it's not David. We have a traitor amongst us, and he's the one that gave the jug of water and the spear to David HaMelech. Then we had another incident in the cave with Shaul HaMelech again, that he went and he cut off the corner of his baguette. And David HaMelech showed them, look, I have it. I'm the one that cut off. So Avner said, he tells Shaul HaMelech, Hannes, you probably hit a thorn, and he found it in the thorn bush. So Avner, David HaMelech means well, he's a righteous person, but he didn't. He wrote it off. That's why Avner was killed.
Why would Avner do that?
What? Why did he have that? I don't know. He's asking a shayla. I tell you, right. Even though Yonasan, David HaMelech's, Shaul HaMelech's son, were best friends with him, and David HaMelech were best friends. Shaul's son, Yonasan. Yeah. So I tell you,
he saved his life also.
Yes. There's one story. He told him that his father's coming. He should be ready. But I tell you, it says that Yoav had him come into the gate to speak with him in secret, like to tell him a secret. Rabbi Yochanan says that he shadonu din Sanhedrin. He says he came to be done as if he's a Sanhedrin, to be Mechai Misa. That's what it means. Shar is a lashon Sanhedrin.
So why do you get involved?
That's what that.
How's Yoav?
Yoav acted like a judge to why he's going to kill now Avner. So he's telling him now all these things. Amalei, Yoav says to Avner, "My time to cut out Lasol. Why'd you kill Lasol? Because we know this whole conversation. How did they know? How did Shlomo HaMelech know to ask all these questions? Because he heard the whole conversation that Yoav already had. Somebody said it over with Avner. Here's the original conversation. Yoav says to Avner, "My time I Ketalti Lasol. Why'd you kill my brother Asol?" So he says, "Asol already about you." He says he was chasing me, he ambushed me, he cornered me. Says Yoav, you should have saved yourself by hurting one of his Eivarim. He says, I was unable to. I was in a position that I had to do my first shot, and that's it. And so Yoav says, what do you mean? You were able to you were sharp enough to get it in a place where he's dying for sure. You couldn't protect. And really, he meant with Amos. He happened to be lucky. He got out of it. Because really, Asol had him cornered. So what's this Bashali? Bashali is not hard. It's not a normal lashon for quays. We came to speak to him in secret. What is this? Shaloi. Shaloi is the shoe. He asked, how could a woman perform chalitza? She has to take off the shoe from the husband if she doesn't have hands. How could she do it? So Abner went down with his teeth. He said, I could show you. If a woman doesn't have hands, he went down with his teeth to take off the shoe. So when he bent down, Yoav stabbed him. It says, treachery. And not only that, he killed him exactly in the same place where Abner killed his brother, in the fifth rib. It says, it says that he killed him in the fifth rib, just like Abner killed Asol. In the place where the gallbladder and the liver is.
Take away your stuff.
It says the Eibishter will make that his blood, Yoav's blood, should go back on his head for the two people that he killed, righteous people who are better than him. What do you mean Toivim? It says They dashen ach and rak. But Yoav loy darish. What does that mean? Tzadikim shehim beper lo yasu. Tzadikim, they were tzadikim. Avner and Yoav, that they wouldn't stop from the mouth of the king, and nevertheless they didn't. They went against the king. L'mashal, David HaMelech. I'm sorry. Avner was told to kill all the Kohanim in Noiv. Avner said, "No, I'm not." He went fighting against Shaul. He says it's wrong, even though there was a pair from the king. Amos a basement that he told him. David HaMelech told him, "Go gather all the people in 3 days." And he saw them learning Torah. I can't do it so fast. So, and he didn't listen. So they were tzaddikim. Who, when it came to Yoav, he got a letter that he should the wife of Uriah, the wife, the husband of Bathsheba, put him in ambush. Put him in the front line and just go retreat and let the enemies kill him, so that he can marry Bathsheba. That was unjust. So Yoav should have not listened, and Yoav still listened. And this was only in a letter. Not that he could have said, "I never got the letter," but and he still didn't listen. It wasn't a pair, and he could have done the right thing, and he didn't. It says Amasa didn't see the cherev that was in the hand of Yoav. Amarav, sure he saw it, but Shalei Chashada, he didn't. Yeah, he wasn't chesed that he's going to kill him. Yoav was buried in the house in the desert. What his house was in the midbar? What is that? Amarav Yod Amarav Kib midbar. It was like a midbar. Ma midbar mufkal hakol. Apeisa shel Yoav mufkal hakol. Meaning that Yoav was a big bal tzedakah. His house was open to everybody. It was like a midbar. As bad as you want to go after Yoav, he was a tremendous balzdaka. He gave away everything. Davach, another pshat. Kim mitba, ma mitba menuk because it's just like in the mitba. There's no one to steal from. You're in a mitba, not there's nobody around. There's no women to commit adultery. He was clean from Gzela for Narayas. Yoav revived the poor people of the city. Amar Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda says, "Afilu munine v'tzachanta toyim." Even those very scarce, special fish, klinchke fish that they had, very few of them, very expensive. He says, if he took a piece, he gave it to Aniyim as well. He didn't want to put his lahu. He gave it out to the Aniyim as a portion. Gewaltige Machnes. Hadron Allah, Nigmadim, shall we turn to you, Perik Nigmadim. Sagt the Mishnah, Naya Perik, Perik Shvi, Abba Mises, the seventh Perik, Abba Mises. Abba Mises nims to Bezdin. Bezdin was given over to give 4 different types of Mises Bezdin. And this is a special order. Skila is the hardest. Then goes Seifa, Herek, and Chenek. If Shimon no, Faket, Seifa goes before Skila. Seifa is more common than Skila. And Chenek goes before Herek. This is that we learned till here. In the previous Perek, it was dealing with mitzvahs and its going. Amar Rava, Amar Av Schira, Amar Av Huna. No, the previous Perek was dealing about mitzvahs and eskolin, so he went now through the order of the mitzvahs.
Which one is stronger? Which one is stronger?
So he's saying this is like Hagdama that deals with the other 3 mitzvahs. We already spoke about skila. Now we're talking about also Seifa, Herek, and Chenek. That's what he's trying to say. He's saying, why did he bring in the other mitzvahs? Because we already started with skila, so that's why we're bringing down the others. Wherever the Chachamim learn a whole bunch of items the Mishnah mentions, enumerates, there's no special seder to say, oh, this has to be, this is he counted this one, it's 1. This one is 2, it's 2. No, he says, no, chutz mishiva samanim. Except for the 7 cleaning detergents or cleaning agents. The Tanan that we learned in the Mishnah, in Nida, it says the blood, if you could wash it off with these 7 samanim, then it's blood. It's like a cleaning to clean. So if you can get cleaned off like a detergent, if you can clean it off, then it's blood. If you can't clean it off, then it's not blood. What are the shiva samanim? Mavidim ala kesim that they put over the stain of blood. Reik tafel, a spittle from a person who didn't eat a whole day. Make recent somebody who chews beans and the saliva, and he uses that saliva to so it's sharp. Meirak layim, you have to wait 3 days bis es stinkt. The number 1, and then you use it as a detergent. Venas is naita, uvuris is a herb. Ukmulya says the Gemara says they no, he doesn't know exactly what it is. It says yeah, sheini yodei mahu. He says he doesn't know. And ashlag, he says is pearls that they had the kind of liquid in it. V'katani sefer, and we learned in the sefer, if he didn't follow the order of the 7 samanim when he cleaned it, he did it out of sequence. Because if it has to go in that order, that to remove the stain of blood. If the blood, we're talking about dam nida. In order that dam nida you want to know if it's dam, that it's the real dam from the makar, that it makes the person dam, it's a tumas dam nida. It's only if you could clean it off with these 7 detergents, providing that you follow the order how they told you to. No, it's just it gives you a way to test it. If he used all 7 at one time, he did nothing because no proof. You didn't clean off. Doesn't mean it's not blood. It could still be blood. You didn't go the right direction. You didn't follow the order. Papa Saba, Papa the elder, said in the name of Rab, Abba Mises. Even the Dalit Mises that we mentioned in the Mishnah, that's the order. Skila, Seifa, Herek, V'chanek. Midukamav, the Rabbi Shimon. Because Rabbi Shimon says, no, the order is different. So here's another exception that we have to follow the order when it comes to Dalit Mises. Why did he only say the case of Shiva Samamonim is the exception to the rule? Only there you have to follow the order, and there's no Muktam. There is Muktam Ulcha, but by all other cases, there ain't Muktam. I by Skilly should have said it also by the fourth Abba Mrs. Bezdin. As the Gemara they plucked the like a mighty. He wasn't talking about a case where there's a machlokes in the Mishnah. He's talking about on a machlokes. When it comes to the Seder Abitza Yom Kippurim, there's a special Seder, the Tnan that we learned in the Mishnah. Komai Yom Kippurim. Amurim ala Seder im hikdem mais lachaveder lo yos lo yikom. On the Seder of Yom Kippur, there was a Seder of Aveda, what you had to do in the morning, and the second, third. And if you didn't follow it, hast nicht abgetan der Aveda. The Hidach, Rav Scheider, why didn't Rav Scheider, Rav Papa, hold of this exception that has to be in order? He says, that's a stam chumra, with the Aveda. It has to do with the severity of the day. The severity of the day is Yom Kippur. We don't want you should derive from the Seder Psukim. It doesn't mean anything to say that, but that's how it is. Yom Kippur doesn't follow. You have to follow the you have to be Kabbalah Sil. The way it's written, that's how you follow it. Also, when it came to the Seder of the Kabbalah Tamid, we learned on it. This is the order of the Kabbalah Tamid. So you see, you have to follow by Kabbalah Tamid. So why didn't the Papa count this as an exception? You have to here. You have to follow the Seder. And there is muktim be'ucha, and you said only by Shivas Hamamonim is muktim be'ucha, by all over there isn't. So he says ahula mitzvah alma. That's not just for a mitzvah to follow the order. But if it was done shalai kisidam, it's not going to become puzzle. So that's why he didn't count it. Says the Gemara, where do we see that there's no muktim be'ucha? Give me cases. He says la'afal kimi mitzvah chalitza, to exclude the case of chalitza. The time we learned in the Mishnah, mitzvah chalitza. How does it work? The woman and the man come to Bezdin. They would give him their eitzah. They said, listen, this Yavam is an old man. You're a young girl. I mean, you're an older lady. He's a young boy. So they would come. So it's okay. We're listening to you, Bezdin. Now it says, the Zikna came and called the Yavam. They spoke to them. I met us man Yavami. She says he doesn't want to bring up children for his brother. And he says, I don't want her. They would say, and they would bring the Yavam in front of the eyes of Skenim. She would take off his shoe and spit. It had to be the spittle had to be in front of the eyes of the Aryana, because it says Le'ena Askenim in the pasuk. It says Le'ena, it says Le'ena Askenim. The Amtzavi Amra Kachi Yaslish, and they would say a second. They would answer. So you should do to the person that won't build a house for the brother. And Beis Chalutz now, and they would call this house Beis Chalutz now. She says the first thing, and then the Yavam says the second. Chaylat says she does the chalitza, but Raikakas she spits. But Kaidan she says the second kriya. So again, he says loy chapatz lekachta. She says she takes off his shoe, spits, and then she screams kachi aslish. My kamashma. What are you saying it over again? I'm going to listen here. Ha kamashma mitzvah hachi, that the mitzvah is this way, to do it the right way. And if you were mahapich the Satan, you didn't follow the order, it's still going to be good.